there are people that don't think that Australia exists, and there's people that do not believe that Finland exists.
Right.
And that every person that claims to be from Australia and like speaks in their accent, and every actor that comes from Australia, everything in media surrounding Australia is just fake, and they're all paid actors.
Why? what is this
Listen.
Like, why?
So,
actually,
hello there.
Hello.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Welcome to
the Ackshully
podcast. Woo! Yeah.
Ackshully.
Woo! Actually. Let's go.
Ackshully.
Woo!
Ackshully.
Yeah. It's fine. Actually. Yeah. Woo!
I am not ready for this.
Oh my goodness. Actually. With your hosts,
The wonderful Cobble.
and the amazing Katy.
Oh yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Actually, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
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 Hi. This is a podcast.
It is a podcast.
It is a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We've been teasing it on,
Everywhere.
on the Twitters
Mm-hmm.
and on the streams and the YouTubes and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And it's finally here. We're here. We're talking. It's a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the first episode.
Yeah. What started as a joke.
A joke.
In the matter
big
of
joke.
a day became an official thing.
Yeah.
Because we have no chill. So here we are.
Yeah. We were joking about it in Katie's Discord
Mhm.
for like a few minutes, and then all of a sudden I was like, yo, Katie, I actually want to do this. And then Katie was like, I actually want to do this as well. And then like the next day, we like had a call
Mhm.
and we planned out
You already
podcast.
had a jingle made at that point.
We made a jingle. Yeah. I made a jingle that you just heard.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's fine.
We have no chill. Like when we're like the type of people when we want to do something, it's like all consuming, right? We have to do it. So
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
So
It's fine.
yeah.
I also just forgot that we're also recording the visual for YouTube, and I was just acting like there's no camera on me, which is like super weird.
Nice. Well,
But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. There's
It'll
no
be,
camera.
It'll be all good.
It's totally
Yeah, there's no camera. Yeah,
it's fine.
no one's recording this. What are you talking about?
No, we're just chatting.
So for this first episode, I think it's probably good if we introduce ourselves a little bit.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna introduce each other.
Yes, we are. You go first.
Yeah.
You do it first.
I go first. Why?
Because
I
I want to know what you say about me before I say anything about you.
I would say rock, paper, scissors, but that's not really going to work because I can't see you. You can just say whatever you want to say that you have.
Yeah, I could. How
fine,
about we think of a number between 1 and 100, and
1 and
whoever's
100?
closer
to what?
That's not going to work. I was going to say closer to 100.
What? I'll just start. It's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll
sure.
start.
Yeah.
So I'm here with Katie. I don't know at which side I'm gonna put Katie in the editing process for the YouTube version, but regardless, I'm here with Katie. Katie goes by Hate No Crossings.
That's incorrect. That is stop spreading misinformation.
No, she's going by Hateno Crossings on Twitch and on YouTube and on the Twitters. She is a full-time content creator at the moment. She's doing some YouTube stuffs, but mostly Twitch stuffs. And now she has a podcast with this silly goose.
Yep.
Owl. And she's obsessed with K-pop and cats.
Yes. That's all. That sums me up quite well. Yeah.
That sums you up quite well.
That's like the main points of my personality right there.
Yes. Katy is also the leader of a wonderful, wonderful stream team on Twitch called the Suit Sprites.
Big shout outs, big uwoos.
Big shout outs, big uwoos to all of the people in that team. We love them very, very much.
We do.
And like, I was very, very honored when Katy asked me to join that team, and I was like, yes, please.
Yeah. Big uwoos.
Big uwoos.
I was so afraid to ask you as well. I was like, he's gonna think I'm so weird.
What? Why would I think that?
I was so scared to ask you. I don't know if I ever told you that, but I was like shitting
you
myself.
haven't.
Yeah, I was shitting myself.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, leader / mama of the Suit Sprites.
I did indeed give birth to everybody on the team. Yeah.
Yes, you gave birth to everyone on the yeah, you're my biological mother.
I am.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think that's about it. Do you want to add anything to that?
I think you covered everything. Yeah.
Right. I did a good job.
You did a great job. So my co-host here,
yes,
you may know him by Mr. Cobble Wobbles on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter with the shit posts on Twitter, like literally.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Maybe you need to follow Mr. Cobble Wobbles on Twitter to understand what I mean. Yeah, Cobble he has been streaming for 3 years, and he's very good at it. And he lives with his wonderful, beautiful, amazing girlfriend Cleo in Belgium.
If you're gonna mention my wonderful, beautiful girlfriend Cleo, we have to mention your gorgeous, beautiful boyfriend Adam as well.
Shout out to them for living with us.
For living with us. For putting up with us.
They are so long suffering, and we love them very much. Cobble is also a cat dad to my best friend Bullen. He is the cutest cat in the entire world, and we love him. And Cobble's obsessed with owls and lasagna. True. I haven't tried his lasagna, but I will someday.
Yes, someday.
I will report back as to whether it's good. But I have faith.
You will report back.
Yeah. Right, I have faith. Don't worry. Okay. Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
Yeah, Cobble is one of my best friends, and I'm very excited to do this podcast with him. So yeah, that's him.
Yeah, anything? Same. Like you're one of my best friends as well, and I'm super excited to do this podcast with you because I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while.
Yeah,
never really found like an idea or something that stuck. And we planned, like we said, we planned this in a day.
Yeah, literally.
We did.
It came very naturally, actually. So
yes.
It did. Anything?
I just want to add.
Yeah.
What did I want to add? Right. I do too much shit.
You do a lot of does a lot of stuff.
So you mentioned the YouTube and the Twitch, and well, obviously we're doing this podcast, but I'm also writing a book.
Yes. Very talented person, and the work ethic of someone that I like. Your work ethic, I don't know, makes me feel tired just thinking about it.
I think I just can't sit still. Like I have to be busy with something always.
Yeah.
It's really it's a problem actually.
Yeah, it's valid.
But yeah, I'm writing a science fiction novel as well, and I hope that that will one day be finished, and so that I can publish it, so that people can read it.
It's very good. He's a very talented writer. So
I swear, stop. I'm gonna you're gonna make me blush.
Aww.
Like people are gonna hear my cheeks blush.
No,
you're just gonna hear it. I don't know what sound that would make, but
it's like very little whispered ooh woo. It's like that's what you can hear.
Yeah. Sure. Imagine if that actually happened.
It does.
Right. So now that you know us a little bit, we have this podcast and it's called Ackshully.
Actually,
it's spelled incredibly wrong. With no like.
Wait. That's
no
not
capital letters.
That's not the right spelling. Wait, what? I'm kidding. Yeah.
So there's no capital letters or whatever. It's just actually. We should probably mention that neither of us is British.
Yeah, we are extremely not British. I am Irish. Cobble is Belgian. Like we said. And we just want to say, as a little disclaimer, we're not taking the piss. It's just that for some reason on both of our streams, this has become a thing. Like this accent just comes out in like moments of panic.
Just comes out. Yeah,
we have
comes out.
We have a lot of love and respect for the British accent.
Yes,
I just think it's very.
I
funny.
love it actually. Like it's legit one of my like favorite. Like just like every British accent is like my favorite English accent.
Yeah.
Like for the English language. I freaking love it. I love listening to all of it.
It's great.
It's so good. And so like sometimes it'll come out and it's no disrespect or whatever.
No disrespect.
Yeah.
Just we're just feral.
We're just silly. We're just
we are. We say it way too much. Like it was ironic at first, and now it's just part of my vocabulary.
Yeah, we were going to call the podcast The Essence of Hoots because I'm obsessed with owls and Katie has a thing with essence.
We can't even, this would take an entire episode if we tried to explain.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that right now. But basically, the short version of it is that I like owls and owls hoot.
They do. That is a scientific fact, yes.
Yeah. And Katie loves to eat Big Macs, but with barely any of the Big Mac sauce on it, and she leaves an essence of the sauce.
Listen, do you want to actually know where this comes from? Because I don't think I've told you this before.
Oh,
and
no.
this might actually explain it for you. Have you ever watched Friends?
Yeah.
Right. So
I have.
There's an episode,
but not religiously. Okay. Not religiously or whatever.
Well, there's an episode of Friends, right, where there's like an armchair in Monica and Chandler's apartment, right? And this episode, can't remember what happens in the episode, but like Chandler, I think, wants to sit there, but Joey also wants to sit there. So they fight over it, and Joey steals the pillows, and he says he's stealing the essence of the chair. So the pillows are the essence of the chair.
So the sauce is the
essence.
No, wait. But your analogy doesn't really because you call it an essence burger. So like the essence should be there, but by taking away the sauce, like the sauce is the pillows.
Right. So we're debunking my analogy right before
Moving on.
This needs more scientific research before we can talk about this.
Yeah. So originally we were going to call the podcast The Essence of Hoots. And then right before recording this episode, we decided to change the name.
Yeah, like literally an hour before we...
Yeah. So
if that doesn't sum us up as people, then I don't know what does, to be honest.
So we describe this podcast as the best podcast about anything, everything, and all things in between and beyond, presented by Cobble and Katy.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah. It's the essence of what this podcast is. It's going to be about, like, the subjects are going to be different every single week. But we do have a few segments that will return every week. Yeah.
Basically, whatever we just want to talk about. Like, we talk about a lot of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And we have thought to ourselves many times, imagine if people listen to these conversations. So,
And now we're just doing it. Now
Yeah.
you're just listening to those conversations.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So like to put that into context, Katie and I once talked about blimps for half an hour.
We did.
Just about blimps.
We
Just blimps?
Just blimps.
What happened to them?
Why
What
is there
happened to
only
blimps?
up to 40 blimps in the world?
Yeah.
Why are they all Goodyear blimps?
Yeah.
I don't know. So that was a half-hour conversation.
Exactly.
I
That
feel
was
like we could have talked longer about it too, but
we could have. But we wanted to play like dodgeball game or something.
Play games, yeah, because we're gamers, yeah.
We're gamers, yeah. So the one thing that'll come back like every episode is gonna be a movie/game/TV show of the week.
Yes.
And every week that'll be a different thing. So this week it's going to be a TV show. Next week it's going to be a game, and the week after that it's going to be a movie. And then it starts over again.
Yes.
So that's like a segment that will come back every single week.
Yeah.
That we'll talk about like a little bit.
We'll give you all of the best recommendations.
Yeah. All of the best
of all
things.
of the stuff. All of the time.
All of the time. Yes.
Yeah.
And another thing is throughout this episode, there are going to be letters like sprinkled in between.
Sprinkled
in between.
Like
and
Tinkerbell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Tinkerbell sprinkles the letters throughout the podcast.
She does.
And if you collect all these letters, you'll be able to form a word. And that word will then be revealed in the next episode. And then you can see if you're right or you were wrong. And the word will always have something to do with the big theme of the episode itself. So today's episode, what are we going to talk about, Katie? What are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about some conspiracy theories. And I'm very excited about it. So basically, we have some like general conspiracy theories that we're gonna talk about briefly, and then each of us have gathered our own kind of like favorite, like most interesting conspiracy theories.
I wouldn't call them favorite, but
mine are pretty good. Like I'll say mine are pretty good.
Right.
So we're going to talk briefly about these general ones, and then we're going to talk more in detail, take it in turns to talk about these bigger ones. And I don't really know the ones that Cobble has, and I don't think he really knows the ones that I have.
SR. There's one that I do know about ish, but not like I haven't gone into it or whatever.
Oh my God.
That'll be interesting.
I can't wait to tell you. It is wild.
Yeah. So maybe we should just go to our first like fixed segment, which is a TV show of the week.
Yes.
Well, this week it's a TV show of the week. Next week it'll be games, and the week after that will be movies. But today I want to talk about a TV show that I freaking love, that I started watching like a few months ago.
Right.
And now I'm on like season 4.
Wow.
I watch it together with Cleo. It's really freaking good. The TV show of the week is The Expanse.
The Expanse. You're going to have to tell me about it because
The Expanse.
I've never heard of it before you mentioned it, and I have no idea. Teach me.
The Expanse is a science fiction show. It was originally aired on Sci-Fi, like the crappy CGI like station,
right? Yeah.
Like they always have these weird shows
with
like super crappy CGI.
Yeah, they do.
But they've gotten a little bit better over the years.
Okay.
And in The Expanse, the special effects are actually really freaking good. Like they're good.
Nice.
So The Expanse is a science fiction show. It takes place in our solar system. And the humans have basically colonized the entire solar system. So we still have Earth.
Wow.
There's a colony on Mars. There's a bunch of like stations in between, like orbiting around moons and orbiting around planets and stuff, or just floating into space. And there's also an entire faction, the Belters. And those are the people that mine materials for the inner planets in the belt,
right?
Like the asteroid belt, out like in the outer rim of our solar system.
Right.
And the show is basically about like the political tensions between all of these factions.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, there's also like an alien threat that has to be dealt with.
Of course.
So you have like the United Nations that control Earth in this universe, and then you have like the people that live on Mars,
right?
Like the Martians, and then there's like the Belters that have like their own like scattered factions and stuff,
right?
And it's basically Game of Thrones, but in space.
Oh.
But like with the only exception that The Expanse hasn't let me down yet.
Valid, very valid. I hope that it doesn't.
And I hope it doesn't. Yeah.
Big F's for Game of Thrones. My goodness.
It just has less like boobas and less butts.
Less boobas.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's some in there.
Oh, there's some. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice balance of the boobas.
Fun fact: Sci-Fi actually canceled the show like after season 3.
Right.
Season 3 had like a major cliffhanger.
Oh no.
So like all the the show was pretty well received and pretty popular, but Sci-Fi didn't have the money anymore to actually fund it because it got too expensive. So they had to cancel it. And it went from Sci-Fi to Amazon.
Ooh.
And Amazon was like, yeah, we'll pick it up and we'll throw a fork ton of money at it. And like starting in season 4, the special effects are even better. Like it's insane.
Nice. How many seasons is there?
So there's 5 right now. 5 just ended, I think.
Right.
And I've heard that it's still really, really good.
Nice.
I still have to get there, but season 4 is really good so far. The storyline, the characters are amazing. Like absolutely freaking fantastic. I really, really like it. I really like it.
Nice.
There's one character in there that I like that I love. Like I hated him in the first season for some reason.
I love those characters.
But then he grew on me.
Yeah.
And now he's my favorite character. And like there's an episode, they don't say it, but they hint at it. And like in my eye, like he's bisexual.
Right.
Like he is so freaking bisexual.
I love that.
That makes me happy.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
I love
very
those
attractive
characters where it's like you hate them in the beginning.
Yes.
And then they have growth.
Yes.
And you love them. It's
exactly.
Chef's
it's exactly
kiss.
like that with that character, in my opinion. Because
Nice.
I was like in the first season, I was like, would you just freaking chill and shut up and you know? But now I'm like, yeah, you go, boy.
Nice. I love that because I was like that with Jaime Lannister, Game of Thrones. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
He had growth, so I feel that.
Freaking Zuko in The Last Airbender.
We love some character growth.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that too. So yeah, if you loved Game of Thrones, but you also love sci-fi, that's basically mixing the two.
Nice.
And it is absolutely marvelous. It's also based off of a series of books.
Oh, cool.
I've heard that the books are like storyline wise and character wise, they're great. Writing wise, they're a bit like less great, but still like it's okay to read.
Cool.
And I really want to like read the books as well.
Yeah.
Now, actually.
Yeah.
The lore building and like the way that the United Nations and the Martians like interact and like the politics of it all, like it's really well thought out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it like the space travel as well is really like it's realistic.
Ooh.
Like they have to deal with like gravity and stuff, and the Belters have grown up inside of like a world without gravity, and they can't really go to Earth because their bones will like break because of the gravity and stuff. Like it's really, really well thought out.
That's cool. Yeah.
And
that's
one
really
of the things that I really love about it. And so if you love sci-fi, like it's legit right now, it's the best sci-fi show on television.
Wow.
It's just like, it's great. It's absolutely great.
That's high praise. Gotta go watch
Yeah.
it.
You should
feel like
actually.
I think you would.
I think you'd like it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you'd like
I
it.
loved Game of Thrones till it let me down. So yeah.
Let me. Yeah, valid.
Yeah,
valid. That last season, like, it's a shame that they didn't give it a last season.
Yeah.
Like, why did they cancel that?
No,
what's up with that?
There's no last season of Game of Thrones. It just kind of ended. Like there was no last season.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
We'll never know what happens.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, The Expanse. If you love sci-fi, if you love space, if you love like politics and stuff, and you love some really cool characters that get thrown like with each other without them actually wanting to team up, but they have to team up because of circumstances, and they become friends and stuff. That's the kind of stuff that Expanse is.
That sounds
and
juicy.
there's some alien things in there.
Nice.
Some mystery, obviously. T-E. Yeah, it's really freaking good. And in The Expanse, they have also colonized the moon. And there's like a Luna colony.
That
and I'm
sounds
gonna
like
use
a
that.
cool colony.
I'm gonna use that as a segue into the conspiracy theory stuff, because some people, you might not know this, but you probably do know this. But some people don't believe that we landed on the moon.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
One of the most popular conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So most people that don't believe that we went to the moon believe that the moon landing was filmed in a studio somewhere in like Hollywood or whatever, directed by Stanley Kubrick. Yeah,
Right.
they even think that Stanley Kubrick directed the moon landing.
Wow. I didn't know that part of it. I'd never heard that part.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, that's something.
I have seen like a part of that theory where people don't just think it was filmed in a studio, they think it was filmed underwater to make it look more like the gravity thing, like the zero gravity thing. What's your thoughts on that, Cobble? What's your thoughts?
If it was filmed underwater, you would see that it was filmed underwater, right? Like I feel like you could see it. Like if you look at the footage, like if you look at the footage of the moon landing, like it doesn't look like they're in water at all. And back in that day, like they didn't have like the CGI or whatever to pull that off.
No,
I don't think like I don't believe that is like that didn't happen.
No,
like the moon landing happened.
Yeah,
but I also kind of understand people that don't believe it happened because it's so surreal that, we're basically living on like a floating rock in the universe.
Yeah.
Rotating around a sun, and we have this moon out there. And it's like, I do realize that it sounds surreal for some people to believe that we actually went there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can understand. I can get into that mindset, but I don't believe that we didn't land on the moon. Like we went there. We did.
I believe that we went there, but I used to be way more gullible than I am now. Like I used to really like conspiracy theories a lot. I still do, but I used to believe a lot of them.
Right.
So I really bought into the moon landing being fake thing.
Oh no.
Yeah. But now, it happens. I think it happens. But yeah, I mean, the theories they're interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to read about it, and like, especially to like see the arguments that people have, like, like specific pieces of evidence that they've gathered and stuff. Like that's what gets me the most, especially if the evidence is like totally, like something totally just wrong.
Yeah,
and just like that's not even evidence. Like. I love it. I just love it.
I love the mindset of like any person that comes up with a conspiracy theory, even if it's like really wild. I just love the fact that people can just think like that. Like I don't know.
I mean, it's also a really good exercise for like to write, like
Yeah.
Like writing a conspiracy, like try to write a conspiracy theory that you've thought of yourself. Like that's a serious creative exercise.
I don't think my singular brain cell could even do that.
I also don't think I could actually do that. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So moon landing was fake. You heard it here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. 100%. They did it underwater.
I just love that.
Yeah.
You know, like the moon is round, right? You can see the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's round.
Yeah.
Right?
Cheese.
And you can see Mars sometimes.
Yeah.
And what shape does it have?
Oh, what do you mean?
What shape? What shape is Mars?
Like round?
Yeah, it's also round, exactly.
Yeah.
And we can see all these other planets in our solar system, right?
Right.
And what's their shape?
They're round.
Yeah, they're round. The sun
It's round.
is round.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that are like, yeah, but the Earth is flat.
Mm.
The Earth is flat. All the other ones are like round, circular objects. Earth is flat.
Yeah, I just don't. I watched a
I don't
video.
understand.
I watched a video like a long time ago on someone talking about the Earth being flat, and I just don't understand like how you can. I don't understand how you can think that the Earth is
Like
flat.
the thing is, I can understand someone thinking that the Earth is flat. Like, I don't know, 500 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, like, because it doesn't, like, when you walk around, if you would theoretically, right, if you would walk around the Earth, you wouldn't notice that you're going, like, around, like, you wouldn't notice that it's a round shape because of something called gravity.
Yes, gravity. It's magic.
But, like, I can understand that back in the good old days, they weren't good old days, but sure, that, like, I can understand that some people thought that.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
But right now, believing that the Earth is flat, I don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
Like I genuinely don't understand. Also, I saw a video of like a group of people like trying to debunk flat Earth, but in a really scientific way.
Right. Okay.
And they were talking about how gravity would act like if our Earth was flat.
Right.
And like they started the video with like, it's not possible because gravity would make it into like a round shape. But let's just imagine that we did have like a flat Earth.
Okay.
In the middle of it, like the middle of it, that would be like the Earth's gravity, right?
Yeah.
And that's where you would be able to live like a normal life. But on like the further out you go, you would like start to fall sideways.
Oh.
Because that's how gravity works. It goes to like one point.
Yeah.
It's not like gravity is just like if you have a plateau, it's not just underneath the entire plateau. No, it'll be in the center of that plateau and you'll be like drawn to that center
Right. Yeah.
wherever you are.
Yeah.
So if you were at the edge, you would just fall sideways.
Well,
Like we wouldn't even be able to reach the very, very edge because gravity would hold us back. Like we would need a freaking rocket to like get to that edge. But like people have gone to space. Like they've seen, like you've seen pictures taken from outer space.
Yeah.
And the Earth is round. Like it's round.
It's definitely round. Like I
don't understand
like
it.
one of the biggest like theories that I always see about this is people saying that pictures of the Earth are like fake. And
they're fabricated.
Yeah.
That's their evidence.
That's the evidence. Yeah. I just every time I think of the flat Earth theory, I don't know if you've ever seen the Millie Bobby Brown clip where she's just like, you know, the girl that plays 11 in Stranger Things.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
She just films herself in her car and she's like, so I think I'm a flat earther anyways, and then she starts talking about something else.
I've never seen that video.
Oh my god, I need to. It's the best.
Beautiful.
It's a great meme.
Beautiful.
It's great.
Beautiful.
So,
I've never seen that, I think.
Oh, it's one of my favorite. It's a good one. It's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. It's great. But you know what? Maybe the Earth isn't round, but maybe it's also not flat. Maybe the moon doesn't even exist. Maybe nothing exists, and we live in a matrix.
Maybe we do. I do have to. Right. I've already told Cobble this, but he said I have to confess.
Yeah, you have to confess. You have to.
I've never seen The Matrix. So yeah, there's a lot of iconic kind of movies that I haven't seen, and The Matrix is one of them. But I do know like the idea, right? And I know that this is like the simulation theory, but yeah, I've never seen The Matrix. Never.
You should watch it.
Yeah,
it's a really good movie.
I don't know why I haven't. Good. I don't know why I haven't.
It also has 2 sequels.
Right.
Which are also great, but I still think that the first one is the best one.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay. I'll watch
they're
it
great.
for
they're
homework
great.
Of this podcast.
And there's a 4th one coming out as well.
There's one coming out? I didn't know.
Yeah, there's a 4th, like, I don't know, friggin' 15 years after the last one or something, or 20 years after the last one. I don't know how old they are by now, but I think they came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Or something. And like the early 2000s or something, I think. I'm not sure. I would have to look it up. But yeah, there's a 4th one coming out.
Wow.
With most of the actors that played in the original as well.
Right.
So it's pretty nice. Pretty neat.
Yeah. I'll
look forward
I'll
to
watch
that.
it someday.
You should. You really should. But yeah, there's some people that believe that nothing matters and that we live in a simulation.
Listen, when I'm feeling extra existential crisisy, I buy into this theory. I really do. Especially like I play The Sims a lot, and sometimes I play The Sims and I'm like, I'm a sim. Like I'm definitely just a sim. You know, like yeah. I understand Sims. I do.
Yeah. Sometimes you just go Suzu.
Yeah, Suzu.
And it's like,
or like you just look up at the sky and you're like, feed me. You know, feed me. I do that.
I can just picture you just go outside, look at the sky, and just go like, feed me.
Like, what are you waiting for? Just feed me, please.
BN.
You know, like when you have your sim, right? And you get them to do something, but you cancel that action and they're like halfway to doing it and then they just stop. That's
when you forget what you were going to do.
Exactly. Right? Exactly.
Oh my God.
We are just sims.
Like sometimes I don't really believe that this is true. Like if I really think about it, I don't think it's true. But there are these moments where this is very hard to explain, but I have these moments sometimes where I feel like I'm like falling through the code of the simulation.
Wow.
And like there's like I can't really explain how it feels, but like all of a sudden you're just like for a split second you're aware that nothing is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're suddenly just back into it.
Yeah. I can understand
like,
that.
I have that feeling sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know how else to explain it. And if you are listening and you have the same thing, please tell me because I want to talk about it. Like I would love to hear your perspectives.
I mean, I can't say I've ever felt like I'm falling through code. Like I don't. But
I mean, when you say it like that, it sounds silly. But it's basically
I
like
get you, though.
with a lack of words to describe how I feel at those split-second moments.
Yeah.
Like that's how it feels.
That's
like
moment.
it's just,
that's a moment when you've glitched out. You're like glitching out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I totally understand where this theory comes from, and I can totally understand why people would believe it, and like I totally like it makes sense in a way somehow.
In a way, if I think about it too much, I genuinely would cry. because like I would get so deep into that. I would just be like, what? Why? What is all of this? You know?
Don't do it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Like, do you ever just, when we back to The Sims again, like I am a simmer, but like when your sim is sitting working on like a skill and it has a little bar above its head of like the skill going up, do you never just like feel like that? Like mine goes up very slowly, but I feel like that.
Right.
I feel like I have that little bar above my head, you know?
I mean, honestly, now that you say it, I kind of do too. Like, I was studying for my driver's license exam,
which you
passed. Like my theoretical one, which I passed.
Yeah.
So everyone that wants to live, stay off the roads.
Good advice.
Like when I was studying for that, it genuinely did feel like that. Now that you mention it, like I could feel my progress bar of like theoretical driving knowledge, like I could feel that go up as I studied.
We're just Sims, like we're just Sims, and we're speaking Simlish right now. True.
Yes.
So
yes. So I don't actually know any of the other ones.
Me either, actually. Yeah
I'm not very good at, like, I see these TikTokers do like Simlish, like they actually speak it.
So good.
And I'm like, when did you learn this language? I can't even learn my freaking French. What are you talking about?
I can barely speak English, so yeah.
People can speak Klingon.
Yeah, I don't.
I wish I could do it, honestly. Like I wish I could, but like I just can't. Like.
I mean, at least you speak.
Respect.
At least you speak two languages. I can barely speak just English, and like that's enough.
That's true. I can speak Dutch. I can speak Dutch and English.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna learn Dutch though. Just surprise you one day. Be fluent in Dutch. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I will.
Sure.
I will.
I'll love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. So to talk about another like conspiracy theory, and this is one that's been around now. I mean, it's been around forever, but it's been around now in particularly like a lot, and it's because like next week I get my my first vaccination shot.
Let's go
for the COVIDs.
Yes.
And yeah, there's a bunch of people that don't believe in vaccines.
I don't believe in exams.
I don't believe. I mean, honestly, I also don't believe in exams.
I mean, yeah, that's actually a whole conversation.
But like, there's actual people that don't believe that vaccines work.
Yeah.
And it's just ironic that almost all of those people, well, ourselves included, like everyone here is still alive today thanks to vaccines.
Yes. This
like
one,
if we didn't have vaccines, like we would die of like a lot of things.
We would be constantly dying. Like this one is just so. I don't know if they'll ever listen to this, but I do have family on Facebook. And you know what? If you're listening, I am calling you out right now. I have family on Facebook who have, like, in the height of the pandemic, been sharing this, like, freaking anti-vax 5G conspiracy theory stuff. And it's just, I don't know.
Honestly, I can't wait to like send out 5G signals with my brainwaves next week. I can't wait.
As we're
like,
recording
you'll have great reception everywhere.
Oh yeah. As we're recording this, I just got my first dose a couple of days ago, and like everything is sticking to me magnetically. It's great, and I can shoot lasers out of my eyes. And and when Cobble gets his next week, the way we're going to record these podcasts is actually telepathically. Like we won't even have to speak. It just means that you also have to get vaccinated those of you who are listening, because that's the only way you'll understand.
Yeah, we'll just like transfer our conversations right to a hard drive on a computer.
Yeah.
No, wait. We can just edit it in our minds, right? We can edit the podcast inside of our mindscape and then upload it straight to YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts and all the stuff.
Yes. It'll be like instant. It'll take no time at all.
It's great. It's great.
So yeah,
get vaccinated, peeps.
Get your vaccines, yeah, because it's like you're just gonna have superpowers in it. Yep.
Go get it. Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
For real though, like this conspiracy theory is one that like genuinely, it just makes me really angry. It just makes me angry. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no part of me that can comprehend or understand like why people are against vaccinations. It's just
same.
I don't know. Like the science is literally there. It's there.
Yeah. It is. And like to go further on the 5G stuff, like 5G itself also has like a lot of conspiracy theories going around it.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of the like concerns I can understand because like we're constantly being like radiated with like all these types of signals, like radio waves and freaking Wi-Fi, and like we have 3G, we have 4G, and 5G is like pushing that limit even more. Yeah. And people are like frightened of it. And I do understand that in some sort of capacity.
Yeah.
But like, I just find it funny that most of those people that are now complaining about 5G, they're not talking about all of the signals that are already like, that we're already being exposed to.
Yeah. It's like it's like a new thing, which it's not.
Yeah, they'll all have like their phones in their pockets with their Bluetooth enabled and stuff, and like connecting to the Wi-Fi and all that, or 4G in this case. Like, and it's just like if you don't want all that, like if you're against 5G, you should probably be against like all of the other stuff as well.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. Everything.
Like, I don't know how the science exactly works, and I'm not like a professional and like I'm not a scientist or whatever. But I don't think that it's like that big a deal.
No. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can understand the concerns. Yeah,
but it's not. It's just.
But there's some wild stuff out there as well about it that I'm like, what? Just what? Yeah.
But yeah, get some.
There's one. Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you can get 5G coursing through your veins, though, if you get vaccinated. So.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Speaking of something coursing through your veins, some people might not have anything coursing through their veins.
Wow, that was a really good one.
Hey, that was a really good one, right?
That was good.
That was a good one, right?
Wow,
yeah.
He's a professional already. Look at that.
It's a great segue because there's people, like, if I'm honest, maybe a little bit me as well, that believe that some celebrities are actually immortal vampires.
See, this is actually one that I haven't heard much about or like read too much into. Like, I've seen theories about celebrities being like time travelers, but not vampires.
Yes. Well, I mean, time travelers is like some sort of like, it's the same kind of theory a little bit. Yeah. Because there's just some actors that they just don't seem to age.
Paul Rudd, that man has not aged. Yeah.
That man is a vampire.
He's definitely a vampire.
It has to be. Keanu Reeves as well. Mm-hmm. Like, if you look at his face, and you look at his face in the 90s, like, it's the same. Like, it's scary. It's actually scary.
So, like,
and
if they are vampires, if this was real, like, like, who knows about this? Like, is this like a Hollywood secret? Like,
maybe
what's going on?
Maybe it's a secret. Maybe it's a secret, like Hollywood society or something,
right?
And like they come together every Monday and they drink a little bit of blood from from people and steal their youth or something. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Would you be a vampire if you could?
Probably not. Honestly, like there's a lot of people out there that think that like eternal life is like the thing that we should strive for or whatever. But I think that like the thing that gives our life meaning is the fact that it is finite.
Yeah.
Like it'll end.
Yeah.
And I think that is what gives our life meaning, and like understanding that our life will at some point come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
I think that gives meaning to your life and wants you to do something with your life.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I would want to live forever as anything, as a robot, as a vampire. I don't care.
No.
Like I don't think I want it. I want to have a long life.
Yeah. But
I want to have a long, good quality life.
Yeah.
But forever?
No. See, yours is like a really nice thought. I was going to say, when I was going through my Twilight phase, I really wanted to be a vampire. Specifically, I did want Edward Cullen to turn me into a vampire.
Right.
But yeah, like, no. Because it would, I think it would just be miserable, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Unless like everyone you know and is friends with and that you love like every single time could stay with you, then it would be miserable because you just have to keep saying goodbye to people and you're just like stuck here forever.
That freaking scares me.
Oh, would you really want to be stuck on this earth forever?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I don't. Yeah. Me neither. Me neither. Me absolutely neither.
Nope.
Yeah. No. No. Right. So that were like the general ones that we wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah.
That were like the general ones. We got a few of our own.
I'm very excited about
that
these.
We've researched.
Very excited.
Yeah, you can go for, well, maybe I should go first with like a really silly one.
Yeah, mine. So like you have 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And two of them are quite like thin and short.
Cool.
So
I have done extensive research on mine. So yeah, you could go first. You could go first.
Right. Okay. So my first one that I looked up is called the New Coke conspiracy theory.
Great.
And what this means is Coca-Cola, like the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the 80s they introduced a drink called New Coke. It wasn't Coke anymore.
Right.
It was suddenly, actually they were like, actually, yeah, we want a new Coke. So
New Coke. Okay.
They call New Coke.
Okay.
And like it got like canceled really quickly. Like they took it back pretty quickly.
Did it have a Twitter drama?
In 1985?
Yeah. You got canceled on Twitter in
No.
Yeah.
No, so like it got I think it was like it got taken back like after a few years, and like later it was also called Coke 2 in 1992. Ooh. Which is really weird.
Coke 2.
Like, why would you call something Coke 2?
Coke 2, right?
I've
never
really
heard
weird.
of this.
And they recently like re-released the New Coke flavor as Coca-Cola Classic. But it wasn't actually the classic Coca-Cola flavor. It was like it was New Coke.
Right.
The classic Coca-Cola flavor is just Coca-Cola, But the theory is, and like, I don't know why, but people thought that the company intentionally changed the formula of Coca-Cola and rebranded it as Coke 2, right? In hopes that consumers would be upset with Coca-Cola, right?
Right.
So that the demand of the original formula of the Coca-Cola would skyrocket. Because this was in a period where like a lot of other like soft drinks and sodas were being released, right?
Yeah.
And like the market share of Coca-Cola was plummeting. Like it was going down. Mm-hmm. And so like people people are theorizing that the people at Coca-Cola were scared of this and that they had to like do like a little strategy and launch this new Coke to then like reintroduce the old Coke with like a new hype.
Right.
So that people would buy it and that their market share would like rise again.
Right.
Yeah. And like reading that, it kind of it kind of makes sense, right?
So yeah, I mean, I worked in marketing for like 5 years. It makes total sense to me. That sounds like marketing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I think I believe that because
yeah.
It's quite smart actually, if that's
the
true.
The company, like a person from like the big shots at Coca-Cola actually answered this speculation. Like he got asked this question and he said, we're not that dumb and we're not that smart.
What?
We're not dumb enough to do that, but we're also not smart enough to do that. That's what he said. That was his answer.
What?
And if that's not a yes,
yeah, that's
like,
a yes. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
No. That's, yeah. I think I believe that. I never heard that before. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
So new Coke.
New Coke. Nice.
Yeah, new Coke.
Now I want some Coke.
Yeah, same actually.
Yeah. That's marketing.
Now that you mention
that's marketing right there.
That's marketing right there. Actually, like I think they might have just done it.
Yeah.
I think I believe this one.
I think I believe that one.
E.
My first theory is called the Oak Island Mystery. Have you ever heard of the Oak Island Mystery before?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, this is interesting. And yeah, okay, let me just explain. So, Oak Island is an island off of Nova Scotia in Canada. And it is known as a cursed island. It has this legend that says that 7 men must die before the island reveals its legendary treasure. And let me just explain, because in search of this, 6 people have died in over the course of like many years because of this. So,
oh my God.
In 1795, 18-year-old Daniel McGuinness, after observing very strange lights coming from the island, he went over to see what was going on, and he seen this like circular depression in a clearing on the island, and there was like signs that the ground had been like disturbed. So basically, he gets a couple of his friends and they start digging, to see what is like under here, because it looks like something has been buried in this spot on the island. But they were like 18-year-olds. They didn't get very far. So, but they like spread this around. They thought this was like really interesting. So, according to some original articles, like around the same time, a company decided to come in and they began to excavate the land, and it was later to become known as the Money Pit, right?
The Money Pit.
The Money Pit.
Okay, I want to travel to the Money Pit.
Yeah. So
I want to get some money.
In this time with this company, they dug around like 90 feet into the ground, and what they found was like layers of like different stuff that just doesn't make sense when you dig into the ground to find this stuff. Like there was layers of like logs, there was charcoal putty, there was like 22 inches of metal, and also there was a layer of coconut fibers. And coconuts don't grow within this area. They don't grow within like 900 miles of this area.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I haven't seen coconuts there.
Exactly.
I mean, I haven't been there, but yeah.
Yeah. It's in Canada. I don't think coconuts grow in Canada.
No. So I don't think so either.
At like 90 feet, this company called the Onslow Company allegedly made a discovery of this rectangular stone inscribed with these strange markings that they couldn't make sense of. However,
oh my goodness,
some theorists just kind of decided that this was a sign that there's hidden treasure on this island. So this, fueled it even more. So in 1861, a company called the Oak Island Association came to try their luck and see what was going on. And this is where things started to get really, really weird. And like, it was a little bit more sophisticated than just like a hole in the ground. So they were digging, and at the bottom of this certain shaft that they were in, it collapsed. And the cavity that formed was either naturally formed, or, as some people believe, it was a booby trap to protect the treasure. More on this a little bit later, because there's a thing that blew my mind about this. I was like, how the hell does this happen? So this is what happened. So like, more attempts were made throughout the years. Like, that was 1861. So it's 1866, 1893, 1909. It just kept going. It kept going and going and going. And they kept digging and digging and digging. They just kept finding these layers of stuff. And then there was certain points that they kept getting flooded. Like, it kept just flooding, and they couldn't go any deeper. So they wanted to try and see like where the water was actually coming from. So what they did was they poured red paint into the pit, and they discovered 3 different exit channels all around the island, which led to this like one hole. So it very like strategically filled the hole so they couldn't dig further.
Oh my God.
So like, the thing with this is, it is so sophisticated and it's so like calculated, and there seems to be these booby traps, that the thought of like someone prior to 1975, which is where the first guy and his friends tried to dig through this, someone had to dig over 100 feet into this island to bury something, to put layers on top of it to hide it, and to carve out these freaking tunnels and stuff so that you don't get to the treasure, right? So who's capable of this, especially the random 22 inches of metal that they uncovered? Like, my brain hurts thinking both about this in general and also how this was like even created.
And like, what was about like the men must die or something? The 7.
Yeah, well, apparently this is like a what do you call it? Like a legend that people say now, because this is like totally alleged, and this is like theorists, but they say that 7 men must die before the island reveals its treasure, because 6 people have died trying to dig on this island. There's been someone I think was when the shaft like collapsed, someone died then. There's been like gas explosions and stuff. So it's wild. But every once in a while, like sometimes private companies will buy a piece of Oak Island, and they will get a license to dig there, and they keep digging, and so much money has been pumped into this. There's just like no answer for it. Like, no one has like found anything. And
oh my God.
There's some theories about like what could be in Oak Island. So some of the wildest theories.
The Fountain of Youth.
Yes. No.
Is that one of them?
No.
Oh. Would make sense.
Some people think that there's like Spanish naval treasure. Some people that Shakespearean manuscripts are buried there.
Why would there be Shakespearean manuscripts?
I don't know. Some people think that like some pirates just like crashed on this island and just laid all their freaking treasure there. But yeah, it's a mystery, and so much money has been pumped into it, and it's really weird.
Yeah.
But the thing that blows my mind most about it is the bit about the red paint and the specific tunnels that all lead to the same point. Like, how does that happen? Because it's
why doesn't anyone just dig like on top of where those tunnels come together?
I don't know. Because they keep flooding.
Why?
And they can't dig further.
Aren't there also like tools that you can use to see where the tunnels go, like through the ground? Like there's tools to map caves and stuff without going into caves, right?
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, apparently, the furthest I think that I read that people have found so far is like this kind of cave portion, in the ground, but this is where like people have died because these things caved in, or people flooded, or there's been like explosions, and the technology that we have right now just still can't do it because there's like these freaking booby traps.
That's frustrating because now I want to know what it is.
Right.
Now I want to know how it ends.
Right.
This is like the freaking 4th season of a show, and they end with a cliffhanger, and they planned 5 seasons, and the 5th season will never see the light of day, and they just cancel it, and you can't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I'm angry now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm so sorry. I thought,
damn it. Yeah.
So a lot of theorists think that it was aliens. Because with these things, like, it all comes back to aliens, right? It all comes back to aliens. So, yeah.
Right.
I don't know what I believe with it, but I just think it's very... It blew my mind, actually. It did, because how? Just how?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of aliens, there is a theory called the Nibiru cataclysm.
Ooh, okay. I've never heard of this, so I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, me neither before I came across it on the interwebs.
Nice.
So there's this theory that we have another planet in our solar system.
Right.
Called Nibiru.
Right.
That NASA and like all of the space agencies on our planet and all of the astrophysicists and stuff and all the astrologists are hiding from us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of these people are hiding this planet from us.
Okay.
And it's called Nibiru, or Planet X.
Right.
And the reason that people believe that these people are keeping this behind closed doors is because it's supposed to be like on a collision course with Earth, or like a near miss, but that would still have like apocalyptic consequences to our planet.
Oof.
And that's why people think that the like NASA and stuff, that they're hiding this from us.
Right.
But the theory started with a person called Nancy Leader.
Okay.
Who is a Wisconsin woman.
Mm-hmm.
A woman from Wisconsin, and she claims that as a girl she was contacted by gray extraterrestrials called Zetans. Like, they had a name.
Right.
They told her their name.
Okay.
And they implanted a communications device in her brain.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That sounds painful.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So in 1995, she founded a website to spread her ideas.
Right.
And there were like, she got attention first with like news groups that were covering some kind of comet that would like pass Earth in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
And so they interviewed her, and she started talking about all this stuff.
Oh my.
There was this comet that was supposed to like shave past Earth in 1997. And like the woman said, like, yeah, sorry, but my alien friends say that this comet doesn't exist and it's actually a planet.
What?
It's actually
Just
planet.
my alien friends, by the way.
And you can't see it because NASA's hiding it from us somehow. Like, I don't know how that, like, if a freaking planet, right, was coming towards us, like, you'd think we would be able to see it.
Yeah.
Like at some point we would be able to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like there have been like multiple times where the people that believe in this theory have theorized that this planet would crash into Earth or near miss Earth or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's different dates. Like some people believed it would have been 1997. Some people believe that it would have been 2003.
Right.
There have been people that believed that the Mayans were actually right in 2012.
Right.
And that 2012 the apocalypse would happen.
Right.
And that would be because of this mysterious extra planet in our solar system that would crash into Earth.
Right.
Yeah, and there's some people that believe that 2012 was that time
Mm-hmm.
that it was finally gonna happen. But then like in 2017, the theory also got like a revival. And like I'm just like
I'm scared.
I'm just like, I just don't understand how, like, there's so many people working at NASA. There's so many people studying, like, our solar system, and like all of these people would be hiding this information from us.
Yeah,
like all of these people would be doing it, and we wouldn't be able to see it in the sky either somehow.
And is it
like,
just
is this it?
One woman like that has?
Yeah, this one woman started that whole conspiracy theory, and now there's actually people like believing in it, like completely.
That's pretty powerful for her.
Yeah, in 2017, it got a revival because a man, a Christian numerologist, David Mead, revived the conspiracy theory by trying to link it to passages from the Bible.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
He declared that the passages had like numerological codes in it that would reveal the date that it would actually arrive.
So
yeah.
What was the date? Do you know?
Yeah, so Mead revised it and declared that Nibiru would arrive on October 5th, 2017, but that, I mean, obviously that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen. And then like when that came to be, like they said something like friggin' like the 23rd of April 2018 or something, but that also didn't really happen, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I can't believe it, but there's people that actually that devoted their time to provide scientific proof that this isn't possible.
Oh my goodness.
And that we've mapped every planet in our solar system.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That would be,
it's just like,
for the amount of people that are like involved in NASA and
but like just imagine, right? Just imagine you are like an astrologist and you study like our solar system and stuff, and like your boss comes to you and he's like, yo, I need you to disprove this conspiracy theory about a non-existent planet. That's a
stressful work.
I love
project right there.
I love it. Yeah. So many believers actually believe that this planet is still coming for us,
right?
And they accuse the NASA of deliberately covering it up.
Wow. Okay.
Like they photoshopped it out of pictures from the solar system and like from telescopes and stuff. Like they deleted those, like that planet out of that image and stuff. Like, yeah. Wow.
That's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. People at NASA be like, I didn't sign up for this. What?
Yeah,
Nah.
apparently like a satellite, I don't know at what time it was, but apparently there was a satellite that had seen something, and it was like an unknown object, and people described it as possibly as large as the giant planet Jupiter.
Wow.
And like people started like, that's Nibiru, but it ended up like not being anything really.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
They were just like, psych.
It's
It
just-
wasn't actually. I was just kidding.
I
That's.
have no words.
No.
I have no words.
No, I don't. What were they called? The Zytons?
The Zetans,
The
yeah,
Zetons?
the Zetans.
Sorry to them.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know if I buy into that one. But if that one woman started that whole thing, that's pretty
Right.
badass, to be fair.
It's pretty badass, yeah.
badass.
It's pretty badass.
Well, speaking of like other worlds and aliens and things,
Right.
we have the Hollow Earth theory.
I've heard about this one.
This is I'd heard about it, but I hadn't actually like researched it. And
Yeah,
it
me
is-
neither, really. Like
It is a
the things
lot.
that I've heard about it is like there's these stories, right? Journey to the center of the earth and stuff.
Mhm.
And that like touches on like a hollow earth, like a hidden world within the earth
Yeah.
where like dinosaurs still live and stuff.
Yeah.
Um
So it's
Yeah.
Okay, so basically this theory states that the North and the South Pole on Earth are like non-existent. They don't exist.
what?
Yeah, so instead there are gateways to the inside of the Earth. So if you
Right.
imagine, we've got the Earth's crust that we live on, and then like the
Yeah.
deepest part of the oceans, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And then inside there's like a completely different world that's existing.
Right.
That is apparently incredibly advanced, like thousands of years ahead of us, scientifically, technologically, and living there is an advanced
Right.
species of human, and they apparently
Right.
just live with dinosaurs and aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because why not?
yeah. Why not? Yeah, totally.
I recently saw a movie, King versus Kong, actually. No, King versus or Kong versus Godzilla. That was it.
Right.
Like Kong versus Godzilla, and it's like about King Kong and Godzilla, and there's all these other monsters,
Mm-hmm.
like all these kaiju kind of monsters and stuff, like all these big monsters they have to fight and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, like in that movie, like they say, like they all come from Hollow Earth,
Right.
and like in that movie, like spoilers, but they kind of travel to it.
Right.
I think they do it actually from the South Pole, actually.
Mm.
So
Well,
yeah,
see,
Yeah.
that's the general idea behind the theory, but then like when you get into why it's actually interesting, it's kind of wild because the history behind like how this theory actually started. So yeah, there was a pilot in 1947. His name was
Right.
Admiral Richard Byrd. And he was part of
Right.
the Air Force, the military. And he was taking a flight heading towards the North Pole. He was going on an exploration flight because those always go really well. Now, his story is like widely discredited because he didn't talk about it right after it happened. But he has like diaries and journals about this. And in those, he claims that he didn't speak about it right away because the US government silenced him. They threatened him.
Of course.
And told him not to say anything. So.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about this flight that he took, he so he like went out alone. So he documented like every part of this flight, as I think like they have to do anyways. So he's like 15 hours in the distance is what appears to be mountains. So he's like taking notes of like what he's seeing. 55 hours, the altitude changes, encountering sharp turbulence. So it's normal flight stuff, right?
Right, yeah.
But then around that time, he allegedly goes from seeing surroundings of like what you'd expect from the North Pole, so like snowy mountains and like ice and glaciers, to seeing like he writes, we were crossing over the small mountain range, still proceeding northward. Beyond the mountain range is what appears to be a green valley with a river running through it. And like he said, this shouldn't be happening. Like, it's not possible in this climate to have a place like this. And he's actually flying like quite close to the ground. He's only like 3,000 feet in the air, so he can see the ground. And he says he sees an elephant, but then he corrects himself and he's like, no. It's a mammoth. Like, it's a huge mammoth type creature. And there are people there that he can see. So then he gets to explaining, right, how at a certain point after seeing this new climate where it definitely shouldn't be, he loses control of his plane. Of course, right? He loses control of his plane and he starts
of course he does.
He starts just drifting. Like, he can't do anything. All of the meters are like spinning out of control. But it's like not super alarming to him for like whatever reason, because there's no turbulence. He's just drifting, but it feels like he's being carried or like pulled in, you know?
Oh, like a freaking tractor beam or something.
Yeah.
Some advanced technology.
So he says he lands inexplicably, and two tall blonde creatures, human-like, approach him. Right? This is where it gets a little bit wild.
Two tall blonde creatures.
Yep. So they take him to a meeting in their world, which is now the inside of the earth. He is now inside of the earth.
Right.
So he apparently met, and I quote, the master. Who told him of his concerns about the surface world. And this is apparently an exact quote of what the master said to Admiral Richard Byrd, right? Right. So our interest rightly begins just after your race exploded the first atomic bombs over Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. It was that alarming time we sent our flying machines, the Fludrads. I don't know what that is, to your surface world to investigate what your race had done. So they said that when this happened, they visited Earth in like their little ships. And he said, you see, we'd never interfered before in your race's wars and barbarity, but now we must. For you have learned to tamper with a certain power that is not for you, mainly that of atomic energy. Right. And this master said that he had to deliver this message to the US government. You can't, like, basically you can't fuck with atomic bombs. You have to stop this.
This is wild. Yeah. This is wild stuff. Like, this would be a good book.
Yeah. It's like you have to stop this. So apparently. Ooh. Don't know how he somehow like returned. He just went. He was like, "All right,
blonde
I'm
creatures carried him back to the surface world."
He was like, "Okay, I'm off now. Thanks for the tea and biscuits. I'm on my way home." And he told the U.S. government, and they were like, "Well,
shut up."
And And this theory is that, like, people go wild for this theory, and I'm gonna send you a picture, but I can explain it, and also we can link it on our social medias and various things.
Right.
But this is kind of like, people make graphs of what they think the hollow earth looks like. So if you imagine
oh my god,
two C's, like the letter C, like facing each other, and then there's like the gaps in between. You got like the Earth's crust, you got the oceans, and then all in between that is the hollow earth.
Oh, and it has a central sun.
It has a central sun.
Right. Spaceship bases. Yeah.
And it's apparently known as Agartha. Is that how you say it? Agartha.
Agartha.
That's apparently what the inside
land
world.
of advanced races, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and the city of Shambhala would be situated in there as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
So,
I wish this were true.
What do you think?
I wish this were true. Like, that sounds great. I want to go on a vacation.
Yeah, let's go. When the pandemic's over, we can both. Me, you, Cleo, Adam. Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, we'll just go to the North Pole or the South Pole and just
we'll just go like, in the middle.
We'll just go through like an Earth anus or something.
Oh my god. Not the Earth.
And we'll just land in not the Earth anus. Oh no. Yeah, and we'll just be in Agartha.
Listen, apparently like they live among animals that are like extinct and dinosaurs and stuff. I would like to meet a saber-toothed tiger.
Right.
I would like to meet a saber-toothed tiger. So
I'd like to pet a mammoth. I'd like to like strangle a dodo bird.
Why would you strangle it?
Listen. In Ark Survival Evolved, like
what did the dodo bird do to you?
In Ark Survival Evolved, right? You know that game?
No.
Like it's basically a survival game where you live on a planet where they have like dinosaurs and extinct you have mammoths and dodo birds. Okay. And the dodo birds in that game are freaking annoying. Like I really I hate them. I
don't think you should take that out on the real extinct but real in the hollow earth dodo birds. I don't think you should do that.
I want to know what they taste like.
No. No.
I'm upsetting so many vegetarians. Yeah. I wouldn't strangle a dodo bird if I saw one.
I'll make sure he doesn't. When we go on our vacation, I'll make sure that he doesn't.
Just to be clear, yeah, like Katie will like chain me up.
Yeah.
As soon as we see a dodo bird, it'll be fine.
I promise.
It'll be fine.
I got you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good stuff. Mm-hmm. That's good stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go through like one really quickly and then one like semi quickly. Okay. You have one more, right?
Yeah. My personal
you have one more.
Favorite
Your
ever. It's
favorite.
the best thing.
Right. So, there are these books.
Right.
It's a children's literature franchise. Mm-hmm. And there are these books. And they also had like I think a television like adaptation or whatever.
Okay.
And it's called The Berenstain Bears.
Right.
I don't know if you know it.
I've heard of it, but I don't know it.
I didn't know that that it existed.
I think it's
we
American,
don't really have that here.
I think it's an American TV show.
I think so. And like I didn't know what this was, but the Berenstain Bears, and the Berenstain is spelled Berenstain, right?
Right.
But there's this conspiracy theory because there's a lot of people that seem to remember that it's not the Berenstain Bears, but the Berenstein Bears, and that it's actually spelled EIN at the end.
I thought
and
it
not
was spelled
AIN.
EIN.
Yeah, so it's spelled AIN, but there's multiple people that think and that remember that it's EIN.
Right.
And so now there's this entire movement of people that think that that Berenstain is like a lie, and that it originally was Berenstein, and that for some reason that it got like covered up or something.
It's like, this is like Mandela effect, right? That's what this is.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. There's a theory that there is in fact a Berenstein Bear franchise, but that it comes from a parallel universe.
What?
Yeah. There's literally instances of people showing like covers of their books and like of their like DVDs or whatever, or like their VCRs, tapes, that like show the Berenstein logo and not the Berenstain logo. And there's people that believe that these like tapes and these books have traveled through dimensions, and that they actually come from a different dimension. And that's why a lot of people think that it's Steen and not Stain.
Wow.
It's why, yeah. Yeah. And like a lot of people are just like, y'all just remember it incorrectly. Just deal with it. It's you're just wrong. And all these people are like, I'm actually not wrong.
Actually not.
Actually, yeah. It's actually from a different dimension. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's what people, yeah.
I didn't realize that it went as deep as thinking it was from another dimension. Because like I've heard Mandela effect theories before, but I didn't realize that it went
wild.
Quite that
it's
far,
wild.
Actually, one. I don't know if you have this in Belgium, but there's. So do you have Febreze there?
Yeah, we do.
Right.
We do.
So I remember that as Febreze, but it's actually spelled Febreze. Like there's not two E's in breeze.
What? There's not two E's?
No,
there is.
There isn't.
What?
You gotta Google
what?
it.
No.
It's Febreze. But I swear.
Yeah. Z-E, yeah.
There's like there should be an extra E. Because does that not make it Febreze?
Oh, it has to be like two E's at the end, do you mean?
Two E's, like, so it should be Febreeze.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how I remember it.
Oh my God. That's how I remember it as well. But it's with one E.
This is our
what?
Bernstein Bears. This is it.
Oh my God.
Febreze.
Great.
Febreze.
Perfect. Beautiful. Yes.
Been living a freaking lie.
My final one, I just quickly, because we're already busy for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You know what? This first episode is a special episode. It's 2 hours long.
Very special, yeah.
So I can't believe that some people actually believe this. But there are people that do not believe that Australia and Finland exist.
Oh my, because I was wondering what you meant by F and A. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, we have like a preparation document together that we share, and I put in there F and A don't exist because I didn't want to spoil it for Katie. I-N. There are people that don't think that Australia exists, and there's people that do not believe that Finland exists.
Right.
And that every person that claims to be from Australia and like speaks in their accent, and every actor that comes from Australia, everything in media surrounding Australia is just fake, and they're all paid actors.
Why? what is this
listen.
Like, why?
So the basic theory is that Britain invented the convict colony of Australia, right? Because Australia was originally, convict colony.
Yeah.
As an excuse to execute tens of thousands of prisoners.
What?
Under the guise of transporting them to this faraway territory, right?
Right.
And that today that everyone is in on the conspiracy, and like down to airline pilots that fly you to Australia, which isn't really Australia, of course.
Of course, right?
And they ferry tourists to decoy islands where actors where actors play like a role that they're all Australian and that you're in Australia and that you're visiting their country and all that. And it
right. I have
and it's just like it's just a real life version of like the Truman Show, where like everyone you interact with when you go on vacation to Australia, you're not actually going to Australia. You're just going to a random island where people are paid to look and sound like they're Australian. That's the theory.
Wow.
That's the theory.
So we both have a friend from Australia. Longy is from Australia. Yeah. So Longy, if you're listening,
Longy is an actor.
Why have you been lying to us? I would like answers, please.
I quote, this is someone that actually believed this, and I quote, "All things you call proof are actually well-fabricated lies and documents made by the leading governments of the world. Your Australian friends, they're all actors and computer-generated personas, part of the plot to trick the world."
Trick the world for what?
I don't know, but it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
That is. So is it the same idea for like Finland? Is that like the same? Is it the same
thing?
But
wait. On Australia for a little bit longer.
Right,
and I quote, "If you think you've ever been to Australia, you're terribly wrong. The plane pilots are all in on this and have in all actuality only flown you to islands close, nearby, or in some cases parts of South America where they have cleared space and hired actors to act out as real Australians."
This is great. Like this is funny. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know what to say.
In case of Finland, for Finland, the theory is, so Finland is situated between Sweden and Russia, right?
Yeah.
But in the theory, it goes like this: in the Cold War era, right?
Yeah.
Japan and the Soviet Union seemingly shared a secret, right, about a piece of sea, like the Baltic Sea, like they're like between Sweden and Finland, you have the Baltic Sea. But this theory claims that Finland isn't actually there, and it's just a huge piece of sea.
What?
And it's just part of the Baltic Sea.
What?
And they kept this a secret. Japan and the Soviet Union kept this a secret because they could just fish there. There were good fishing spots there, and they made up this land, Finland, to make sure that people wouldn't go fish there in their waters.
Right.
And the Japanese were free to fish there as much as they liked without worrying about international laws, as long as they gave a fair share to Russia, to the Soviet Union.
What?
And like
there must be some good fish. Jesus.
Yeah. And like it sounds super freaking insane, but people have come up with evidence to back this up, and one of the things is, why is Finland called Finland? Huh? Because fish have fins.
Oh no.
And it's an area where they fish. So Finland, yeah, that's part of the
wow.
Wow. That's part of the.
Those are great.
That's part of the. Yeah.
Those are.
But what about the 5.5 million people living in Finland? Huh?
Yeah.
What about them? What about the thousands of people that immigrate to other countries or visit our country from Finland? What about the freaking national football team of Finland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. Well, they say that the Finnish people,
oh God,
while believing that they live in Finland, that they actually do not live in Finland, but in small towns throughout Sweden, Estonia, and Russia in remote forested areas.
What?
And this is where people are actually traveling to when they go to Finland.
Oh my God.
So the people of Finland don't know that Finland is not real.
Wow.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
I'm actually speechless about this one. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyone that may be listening from Finland,
yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, but your country is not real.
Oh my God.
I can't believe that there's people that don't believe Australia and Finland exist.
Yeah. I love all of like the specific point of like all of your Australian friends or actors or personas. Like that is
it's wild. It's wild. It's wild.
That's great.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, very good.
So yeah, that was my last one.
Well, my last one is one of my favorite theories because it's absolutely unhinged. It's kind of a conspiracy theory. It attracts a lot of conspiracy theorists, but it's really like a cryptid theory. It's about a cryptozoological creature called the Mothman.
The Mothman.
Do you know about the Mothman?
I've heard about the Mothmen.
The Mothman? Plural?
Yeah, because, well, I mean, I think, like, there's a storyline, and don't ask me why I still watch Riverdale, but I watch Riverdale still.
Okay,
it's on season 4. It's really freaking bad, but I don't know why I'm still watching.
Don't tell me
but
they're having a freaking Mothman storyline.
They have a storyline in which one of the main characters gets roped into, like, he's doing research for his book, and there's like but I'm not sure if it's actually Mothmen, but like he gets into like research for his book, and there's these people that believe that other people have been like kidnapped by Mothmen. I think it's Mothmen, but I could be wrong.
Right.
I could be wrong. It could be aliens or whatever, but there's this weird storyline about
Riverdale
it, and it made me think of that.
Riverdale is I don't know. Well, anyway.
Listen. Riverdale season 1 was one of my guilty pleasures.
Oh, yeah, Riverdale season 1 was great.
Season 2 as well, to be honest. Like, I watched that with Cleo together, and we had a good time. And then it just started to fall apart, and now it's just straight up bad.
Yeah,
it was like the good kind of bad. Like you knew it wasn't like great quality, but it was funny and like lighthearted, and I mean, good looking people.
Yeah, true.
True. But now it's just bad. Now it's just
I can't keep up with it. I did give up on that one. But
Mothman, please, Mothman, tell me, lay it on me.
Mr. Mothman. So Mothman originates or resides in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in the US of A. And he is a cryptozoological creature that is thought to have made his first appearance, made like a debut in 1966.
His VTuber debut was in 1966.
Yes.
Right.
So,
okay.
Witnesses to the Mothman have described this creature to be man-like in stature, often seen walking on his hind legs. He is apparently spotted primarily at night, so it's hard to like discern what color he is.
Of course,
like a dark color. And one of the most widely undisputed claims between witnesses is that he's gigantic. He has a gigantic frame. And across most all accounts, he ranges from 6 to 8 feet tall. And I know you don't measure in feet, but like you're like
y'all
6 foot.
Y'all with your foot fetishes. Like I don't understand.
Ignoring that comment, you're 6 foot tall. So like 6 to 8 feet tall is how tall Mothman is. Right.
So I have the stature of a Mothman.
You have the maybe like a baby Mothman. You're like a
baby Mothman.
Baby Mothman.
Right. Baby Mothman.
So as its name would suggest, he is capable of flight, and he has 2 enormous wings that apparently span from 8 to 15 feet.
What?
Yeah.
Right.
And reported in many of the sightings of the Mothman is apparently his unforgettable, haunting red eyes. So what I'm saying here is that the Mothman does have the cursed laser eyes, basically. The
cursed laser eyes. Yeah.
So in the 1960s is when the Mothman apparently scared countless locals in Point Pleasant. On November 12th, 1966, a group of gravediggers working in a cemetery spotted something strange. And they glanced up from their work.
There's something strange in the neighborhood. Who are you going to go? The exterminators, because it's a moth. You have to exterminate it.
So they looked up and they seen this like huge thing soaring above their heads, and they were like, what the hell? What the hell is that? They thought they said, and I quote, it looked like a brown human being flying. So yeah. Just 3 days after the gravediggers' initial report in nearby Point Pleasant, 2 couples noticed a white-winged creature about 6 or 7 feet tall standing in front of the car that they were all sitting in. So eyewitnesses Roger Scarberry and Steve Mallet told the local paper that the beast had bright red eyes about 6 inches apart, which is very specific to say that your eyes are that far apart. But anyway, a wingspan of 10 feet, and the apparent urge to avoid the bright headlights of the car.
Of course, yeah. This
is...
Aren't moths usually attracted to light?
Yeah.
Like...
I guess he just goes against the grain. He's like doesn't go with the status quo, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So according to these witnesses, this creature was able to fly at incredible speeds because they were like so scared. They drove away, and apparently he was just like flying above their car, chasing them. But what really tickled me about this was that they all agreed that he was a clumsy runner.
What? Is she clumsy run, actually?
Like he was clumsy as he ran along the ground.
Right.
So, they knew this only because he chased them to the outskirts of town in the air, and then he scuttled into a nearby field and disappeared. So, you know, like they knew that this sounded pretty absurd when they told the local paper this. But their reassurance was if we'd seen it like individually by ourselves, wouldn't have said anything. But because all 4 of us saw it, all 4 of us had the same experience, we decided to talk about it. Right. So, you know,
I feel like it would have been more believable if they all saw it individually. Mm-hmm. Like if they all saw the same thing individually.
Yeah.
And maybe if they then like didn't know each other or something. Yeah. And like maybe then
a lot of people say like these were teenagers. Yeah. Were they completely sober? Did they,
Were they
have a little
completely
bit
stoned?
of the devil's lettuce? You know, where
It's
they
a devil's lettuce. Yes.
So
yes. Yeah.
basically, like over the years, people then believed that they saw the Mothman, like a lot, and they were scared by it. And yeah, there's been doctors like of biology that have like discredited the Mothman, or at least tried to, by saying that it could be a crane, like a crane bird. Yeah, because those are big and haunting. Right. And of course, there's the paranormal and whatnot explanations. People think that it's an alien. Some people think that it's a harbinger of doom.
Yes.
People think that
sounds credible.
A demon.
A demon from hell, yes.
The best thing about all of this is that the Mothman has a legacy in Point Pleasant, because every year in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, they have a Mothman festival. They celebrate the Mothman. They just party all about the Mothman. And in Point Pleasant, there is a Mothman statue. And I am going to send you a picture of the Mothman statue. It is a big metal statue right in the middle of the town of the Mothman. And the best thing is that he is ripped. And
he's his abs.
He has a butt. He has a peach butt. So yeah.
Okay, everyone, just like, if you're listening to the podcast, just Google
Mothman
Google
statue.
the Mothman statue. You're not gonna regret it.
Yeah.
He's ripped. He actually kind of hot.
Oh my! I knew you were gonna say that.
Kind of hot. Kind of hot.
But
not gonna lie.
Also,
is that chest hair?
Yeah.
Why does he have chest hair?
You gotta get the details in, of course. But there's a coffee shop. I know this because I'm a huge fan of BuzzFeed Unsolved. They did like a whole episode on the Mothman. It's my favorite episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved. But there is a coffee shop in Point Pleasant where they sell little Mothman treats, like little Mothman cookies, and treats. And then there's a pizza place that can do the Mothman pizza, and they shape the pizza to look like the Mothman's face.
Please.
Yeah. So I would like to be.
I want to go there.
I would like this to be on our bucket list, to visit this place together and get a picture with that statue.
Yes. Let's get a picture with that statue. Yes, I need it. 100%.
See how his hands are like kind of like clawed out? I just want your head to be under one of them.
Yeah, our head's in it. Our head's in it. Yes. Yeah.
So that is the Mothman theory.
I agree. Love
it. It's great. It's
that
great.
was
I feel like I learned a lot in this.
Yes, I learned a lot. I also, I've seen a lot. To all the people that are still listening right now, thank you so much for listening to this episode. This was the first episode of our beautiful podcast. Actually, thank you so much for listening. If you want, you can share it with people that you might think are interested. Feel free to do so. If you have any opinions on any of this, feel free to tweet at us. We'll probably have we haven't made a Twitter yet. At the time of recording. At the
time of recording, we have not, but you should.
But it'll probably be at Ackshully,
Yeah, or Actually, podcast or something.
Yeah.
But we'll put it on our personal
all of
Twitters.
all of the socials will be like on screen and like on the Spotify. I don't know if you can put it somewhere on Spotify or whatever.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
But you'll be able to find it. You can tweet at us. But if you also want to follow our individual activities, you can follow Katie at
Etano Crossings.
There we go. Like everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just at Hateno Crossings
Or
everywhere.
Hateno Crossings,
Same
if
for
that's
me.
easier.
Yeah. And for me, it's Mr. Cobble Wobbles. So at Mr. Cobble Wobbles, twitch.tv/Mr. Cobble Wobbles, YouTube/C/Mr. Cobble Wobbles. Like, it's all Mr. Cobble Wobbles.
Yeah. Also,
so if you want to follow us on all of those, feel free to do so.
I was gonna say, if you want to, I believe on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you can leave a review. If you like the podcast, you can leave us a little review. Let us know what you think. We have a whole season planned, and we're excited to share the rest of it.
Yes.
It's gonna be good, especially the next episode. I'm so excited.
The next episode. What's the next episode about, Katie? What's the next episode about?
The next episode is what I base my entire personality on right now, and that is K-pop. It is my life goal to turn Cobble into a K-pop stan, and I'm gonna introduce him to the world of K-pop in the next episode.
I'm ready to learn.
You should be.
I'm ready to be educated on the phenomenon that is K-pop. I'm excited to know what it all is about.
We will take a deep dive, and then there will be no return for you. You're just gonna be a K-pop stan for life. So
thank you for watching, listening, sleeping to our podcast. I don't know, taking a nap to our podcast. Like, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The word. Let us know what the word in this episode is, and next episode we'll reveal it. And this is what the next episode is gonna sound like. The word always. Oh, there's a cat. There's a cat hijacking the podcast.
We have a guest this week.
We have a guest this week. Bolin, tell us about yourself. Meow. Right.
That was emotional, inspiring, motivating.